could I, if, say I've done 150 residential closings and on how many wireless deals, 10% of those involve issues with easements and rights of way. So I've dealt with it hundreds of times. And how could I be $30,000 off on a $35,000 offer or demand? I'm not. And so I just feel like when people like this can't get responses from their government, it diminishes the public trust in government.
Now, I'll tell you what doesn't diminish it is Chief Chrisman and his crew whomping up on these purported child traffickers. That brings the respect right back. But now, getting back to the main theme tonight. By the way, I met the chief tonight. We talked a little bit about the art wall here at the house that we sponsor, and we're working on a current one. Anyway, yeah, we talked about that. But anyway, back to the main event. The issue here is that PUD is basically trying to hold this family strictly liable for something where it's evident that there was outright negligence or recklessness, and they would have had to have approved it at some point. You'll see.
I mean, it just comes down to just negligence. This happened out of pure negligence. There's a bad install, even per state, from the Department of Health as far as installation of water mains. It was done improperly. I have pictures, obviously, of it laying right on my sewer main on a botched repair in the right-of-way that no homeowner would do.
1 second here. I'm going to leave a few copies for the you'll distribute those to the council.
Yep.
Terrific. My name's Christopher King, and I'm actually a good friend of the Peterson family. And I just want to tell you, when you look up truth in Webster's, you see a picture of this guy. Okay, I've known him for years. They worked at my house on things, and this family has been through some immensely challenging times in ways that I won't detail to you right now, but I mean challenges of the worst kind. And they have 2 children, 2 babies in that family right now. They have 4 people in that family. He's not a public speaker, I am. So I'm gonna help him out. So Mr. Peterson's family, again, he and his wife, Yana, are raising 4 children, and they bought this house. They are ideal citizens, professional plumber he is to take care of his family. And it's a situation where he and his friends arranged with the city that they were allowed to fix this system because of their experience and their professionalism. So they did it. But in so doing, they discovered that there was a reverse grade, a back grade out at the curb site. So you're here in the house, and this is literally 500 feet from the $60 million library, right? And they're right in the shadow of that on 109 Snoqualmie. And if you're facing southward, and the railroad's over here, that's where their lateral ran out. And across that lateral, in the east-west, is the water main. It barely meets the frost line. And we have pictures, you'll see the color pictures. It's made this. So here's coming from the house, it backed up, and that created a restriction. He could run a 100-foot snake out to the line, out to the curb, but when he tried to put something larger through, like a camera, couldn't get through because the sewage is coming back. So we look at this, they come out, and he calls PUD, City Inspector John Torgerson.
Yes.
John Torgerson's there, and he looks down and he says, oh, well, there's your problem right there. And he says, could you pass a credit card through there from where the main is laying on the lateral? No. And the crux of the story is that there was negligence at some point, and PUD would have had to supervise the install at that time, because I don't think there's a bunch of pop-up people that come up in the middle of the night and have, like flash mob parties and install sewer mains or any kind of a water mains. So I put together a package for them, and I said, the estimate they got from their friends is $20,000. He got a $10,000 line of home equity to handle this, and he missed a week of work. He's a professional plumber, he makes $65 an hour. He's out 25 grand. I mean, the vacation time he had to take. He's out $5 grand for that. I said, here guys, $35,000. We're not asking anything for pain and suffering, none of that. Just pay us the value of the services we gave you. We had to do the trenches, replace the line from the house that got backed up, poured you new sidewalk, all these things to professional grade standard. Pay us. And so I get this thing back. They come back with a $4,000 offer. It's a slap in the face to a family trying to get response from a government agency. And the reason I say this, and I'm going to qualify myself, and I'll let you go, and I'll send you guys emails. My background, I was a government lawyer. Then I ran a title company. I do zoning and permitting for a career. I've done it off and on for all the major wireless carriers. I worked on projects in Mount Vernon. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, how could I, if, you know, say I've done 150 residential closings and on how many wireless deals, 10% of those involve issues with easements and rights of way. So I've dealt with it hundreds of times. And how can I be $30,000 off on a $35,000 offer or demand? I'm not. And so I just feel like when people like this can't get responses from their government, it diminishes the public trust in government. And that was my first job out of law school, was assistant attorney general, because I wanted to believe in government. And I still want to believe in government. I've read all your backgrounds, trust me. And I know that each of you has a vested interest to be involved in this case and have someone on your staff take a look at it. I wouldn't be here in front of you if I didn't believe in this case. I've already brought it up to local licensed counsel because I've never been licensed in Washington. So I've kind of reached the end of my path now. You know, I can't represent him in court. So I call some of my friends and other people to try to get this man and his family some help now at Christmas time. They're hurting. And that's kind of where it stands right now. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to tell you, but I will be in touch with you via email. And I thank you for your time. And Matthew's family thanks you for your time as well.
Mr. King, thank you.
Indeed. Cheers.
Appreciate it.